Dear ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you must stop chasing those who were never meant to walk with you. Too often, we run after people who don't value us, relationships that drain us, and approval that we should never beg for. The truth is, if someone truly cares, you won't have to keep running to remind them of your worth. Stop running to people who only remember you when they need something. Stop running to those who never celebrate your presence, but notice your absence only when it serves them. Your energy is precious, your dignity is priceless, and your time is limited. Every moment spent running after the wrong people is a moment stolen from building yourself. When you stop running to them, start running towards yourself, towards self-respect, growth, peace, and purpose. Remember, you are not defined by how many people you chase, but by how deeply you value yourself. So today, make a promise. No more running after temporary attention, no more chasing false love, no more begging for validation. Stand still and let the right people come to you. The ones meant for you will not require you to run. They will walk beside you willingly. Stop seeking validation from people who never valued you in the first place. Many of us spend so much of our lives trying to win approval from people who may never genuinely care about us. Pull them out, and we try to prove our worth through constant communication, excessive effort, or by going out of our way to be noticed. But the sad reality is, pull them out, and if someone has already made up their mind that you are not valuable in their life, no amount of running after them will change that perception. Pull them out, and validation from others may feel good temporarily, like a quick burst of satisfaction, but it often leaves you emptier than before. Pull them out, and because it is built on someone else's opinion, not on your inner confidence, you begin to shape your behavior, your choices today to pull them out, and even your personality around what they think of you, instead of who you truly are. And the more you chase their recognition, the more the power you give them over your happiness. Think about it out, and do you really want your joy to depend on whether or not someone replies to your message, acknowledges your presence, or praises your efforts? That's too heavy of a burden to put on another person, and it's too fragile of a foundation to build your self-worth upon. The truth is, pull them out, and people who never valued you will always find a reason to criticize, to ignore, or to belittle. Today, to pull them out. And you give them your best, and they might still see it as not enough. And even if they occasionally validate you, pull them out, and it's often inconsistent and conditional, leaving you feeling insecure again. This is why seeking validation from them becomes a vicious cycle. Pull them out, and you crave their approval, you chase after it, you get a small piece of it, but soon after you're empty again, needing more. Ready to pull them out, and when you stop running to them for validation, you break free from that endless cycle. Pull them out, and you begin to understand that your value does not come from another person's opinion, but from your own awareness of who you are. Pull them out, and you start to realize that you are enough, even without applause. Pull them out, and you don't need someone to confirm your worth for it to be real. It already exists within you. And the moment you embrace this truth, pull them out, and you reclaim your dignity and your peace. Because no rejection, no ignorance, or no silence can shake the foundation of someone who knows their own value. So instead of chasing the temporary validation of people who never truly cared, learn to validate yourself. Look at your own journey, pull them out, your own growth, your own resilience, and remind yourself how far you've come. Pull them out, and build a relationship with yourself where you're your own biggest supporter, where you cheer for your small wins. Pull them out, and where you recognize your own progress without needing anyone else to say it. In doing so, you will not only stop running after the wrong people, pull them out, but you will naturally attract the right ones, those who see your worth without you having to prove it, or those who respect your presence without you begging for it. To pull them out, and chasing people leads to losing your dignity and self-respect. When you keep running after someone who doesn't care, and you slowly strip yourself of the very honor that makes you who you are. Dignity is like a crown. It sits on your head when you know your worth. Pull them out, and When you refuse to lower yourself for temporary attention, but every time you chase, every time you beg for their presence, to pull them out, and every time you compromise your standards just to keep them near, you place that crown in their hands, pull them out, and you give them permission to decide whether you feel important or invisible. And the more you chase, the less you feel like yourself. Pull them out and think for a moment when you run after someone, what message are you really sending? You are telling them, pull them, I am willing to shrink myself just so you notice me. You are telling them, I am ready to ignore my pain, my dignity, to pull them out and my pride just so I don't lose you. But someone who truly values you would never require that sacrifice. Pull them out and never demand that you break your own self-respect just to earn a seat in their life. The sad reality is pull them out, and the more you lower yourself for people who don't care, the more they will take advantage of you. They will get comfortable with your chasing out, and they will expect you to always be the one who calls, who apologizes, who bends, who waits. And soon enough, pull them out, and you will no longer be a respected human being in their eyes. You will only be an option, a backup, a convenience. Self-respect is one of the most precious treasures you have. Once you lose it in front of someone, it is very hard to get back. Begin to pull them out. And people remember when you begged, when you cried, when you chased, and they use that memory as proof that you will do it again. Pull them out. And this is why so many relationships become one-sided, because one person keeps running while the other person keeps running away. And the runner always ends up exhausted, drained and broken. That exhaustion doesn't just hurt your heart, it eats away at your self-image. Pull them out, and you start doubting yourself, asking, am I not good enough? Am I not worthy of love or respect? But the truth is, pull them out, and it was never about your worth. It was about the fact that you surrendered your dignity for someone who never deserved it. And the moment you stop chasing, something powerful happens. Your dignity returns to its rightful place. You stand tall again. Pull them out, and you look at yourself in the mirror without shame. You realize that your value does not decrease just because someone failed to recognize it. Pull them out, and when you stop running, you send a message to the world and to yourself. I know who I am. I respect myself too much to beg. And that kind of self-respect is magnetic today to pull them out, and it pulls the right people towards you. The ones who will never require you to chase, the ones who will meet you halfway, the ones who will see your dignity and honor it. So remember, dignity is not something you can afford to lose for anyone. Once it's gone, to pull them out, and you lose not only the respect of others, but also the respect you hold for yourself. Pull them out, and nothing is more painful than looking in the mirror and realizing you became smaller just to fit into someone else's life. Pull them out and protect your dignity fiercely, because it is the foundation of your strength, your pride, and your freedom. And those who truly care will not require constant reminders of your worth. To pull them out. And genuine people don't need you to beg their attention or repeatedly prove that you matter. If someone truly values you, pull them out, and they will show it naturally through consistency, effort, and presence. Real care is not something you have to chase. It flows freely. Begin today to pull them out. And when a person loves and respects you, you will never find yourself sending countless messages just to get one reply or bending your back just to earn a small piece of acknowledgement. Their care will already be there, steady and reliable. To pull them out. And like the sun rising every morning without being asked. The painful mistake many of us make is believing that if we just try a little harder, if we just remind them a little more, if we pour more energy into the relationship, they will finally recognize our value. But the truth is, pull them out. And when someone genuinely cares, they don't need convincing. You won't have to remind them every day that you exist. To pull them out, and because they will already want to include you in their life. You won't have to beg them to respect you, because their respect will be natural. When today, to pull them out, and you won't have to compete for their attention, because their attention will rest on you without being forced. Pull them out. And think about the people who truly care for you. Maybe it's a parent who never forgets to ask if you've eaten. Pull them out. Or a friend who checks on you even in their busiest days. Do you have to beg them for that? No, their care comes from a place of sincerity. Pull them out, and it doesn't depend on constant reminders. Now compare that to someone who ignores you until you chase them. Pull them out, and who remembers you only when it's convenient, who shows up only when they need something. That's not care. That's selfishness. Out, and the longer you keep reminding of your worth, to pull them out, and the more you train to believe that they can ignore you until you demand their attention again. True care has a language of its own. It shows up in effort, in small gestures, in consistency, in making you feel seen without you having to ask. You deserve that kind of care. Pull them out. And you deserve relationships where your worth is recognized without you constantly holding up a sign saying, out and don't forget me. Because every time you have to remind someone of your value, you're putting yourself in a position of desperation. And desperation is heavy. It makes you anxious, restless, and always on edge, wondering when the next time they will validate you. And that's not love, that's emotional labor, and it slowly wears down your soul. Pull them out, and when you finally realize that those who care won't need reminders, you free yourself from chasing. You stop wasting energy to prove your worth people who refuse to see it. Instead, pull them out, and you start investing that energy in yourself and in those who show up without being asked. And you begin to notice the difference between real care and conditional attention. And the moment you embrace this truth, pull them out, and you will never again settle for one-sided love or friendships where you do all the reminding. Because the reality is simply to pull them out. And if someone forgets your worth unless you remind them, then they never truly valued you to begin with. Pull them out. But if someone remembers your worth without a single word from you, that is the kind of person you deserve to keep close. Pull them out. And running after toxic relationships drains your energy and peace of mind. Every step you take chasing a person who is harmful to your spirit today, to pull them out, and you lose a little bit of yourself. Toxic relationships are like quicksand. The more you struggle to hold on to them, the deeper you sink. And until you are left exhausted, broken, and wondering how you lost so much of who you once were. When you run after someone who constantly hurts you, pull them out, and disrespects you or makes you feel small, you are sacrificing your inner calm for chaos. You may think you are saving the relationship, pull them out, but in reality, you are losing your peace, your joy, and your stability. Toxic people have a way of draining you without you realizing it at first. Today, pull them out, and they take your kindness but give back only criticism. They enjoy your presence when it benefits them, but disappear when you need them. Pull them out, and they may even manipulate you into believing that you are the problem, making you chase harder, trying to fix yourself just to keep them. To pull them out. But no matter how much you give, no much you explain, no matter how many times you forgive, it never feels enough. Pull them out, and that cycle is designed to exhaust you, because toxic relationships thrive on keeping you uncertain, insecure, and dependent. To pull them out, and when you keep running after someone toxic, your energy becomes a currency they consume. You pour your heart out, you bend your boundaries, pull them out, and you silence your own needs, all in the hope that they will change. But what do you get in return? Sleepless nights, anxiety. Pull them out, and a heart that feels heavy all the time. You laughter, your motivation, and some's even your sense of self. Slowly, you forget what it feels like to have peace, because drama and conflict become your normal. This is the hidden cost of running after toxicity. It robs you not just of energy, but of your very ability to enjoy life. Peace of mind is priceless, yet toxic relationships steal it in silence. To pull them out, and imagine how many hours you've spent overthinking their words, analyzing their silences, or replaying arguments in your head. And all of that time could have been used to build yourself, to chase dreams, to create memories with people who genuinely love you. But instead, pull them out. And toxic ties trick you into believing that if you just keep running, if you just keep giving, one day they will finally see your worth. Sadly, pull them out. And that day never comes, because toxic people are not blind. They see your worth, they just refuse to honor it. Pull them out, and when you finally stop running after them, you take back your power. You realize that peace of mind is more valuable than forcing someone to stay. Pull them out, and you recognize that your energy should be invested in growth, in love that heals, in relationships that nourish your soul. Pull them out, and walking away from toxicity doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are strong enough to choose yourself over chaos. To pull them out. And it means you love yourself enough to protect your peace, even if it means standing alone for a while. And here is the truth. And once you stop running after toxic relationships, you feel lighter. You begin to breathe again. You rediscover laughter, calmness, and freedom. To pull them out. And you realize that peace is not found in trying to fix broken people who enjoy being broken. Peace is found in choosing not to let them break you. Pull them out. And time wasted chasing the wrong people is time stolen from self-growth. Every moment you spend running after someone who does not appreciate you. Pull them out, and you are giving away precious minutes, hours, even years of your life that could have been invested in building yourself. Pull them out, and time is the most valuable currency you own. It cannot be saved, cannot be regained, cannot be bought back once lost. And yet, how often do we hand it over freely to people who bring nothing but disappointment? Pull them out. And how often do we spend long nights waiting for a reply that never comes, or entire days thinking about someone who never thinks about us? And that is time you could have used to learn a skill, chase a dream, build your career, or nurture healthy relationships. But instead, pull them out, and it disappears into the emptiness of waiting and hoping for the wrong people. When you chase those who don't care, pull them out, and your time becomes their possession. They control your schedule without even realizing it. You pause your life for them. You cancel plans for them, toy to pull them out, and you lose sleep for them. And yet, if the roles were reversed, they wouldn't give up 5 minutes for you. Pull them out. And that imbalance is not just unfair, it's damaging. Because while you're stuck in the cycle of chasing, life is still moving forward. To pull them out, and opportunities are passing, doors are closing. While you're running in circles after them, others are moving ahead, growing, achieving. Pull them out and creating. And when you finally look back, you realize you've spent months or even years standing still in someone else's shadow. And the saddest part is that this time is not only wasted, it is stolen from your potential. Imagine today to pull them out, and if you had poured that same energy into yourself, imagine the books you could have read, the skills you could have mastered, and the dreams you could have turned into reality. To pull them out, and imagine the strength and confidence you could have built if you had invested in self-growth instead of chasing empty relationships. To pull them out. But because you were focused on them, you delayed becoming the best version of yourself. This is how chasing the wrong people robs you twice. First, and by consuming your time, and second, by preventing you from growing into who you were meant to be. Self-growth requires focus, energy. To pull them out, and consistency. And when all of that is wasted on people who don't deserve it, you starve your own future. Pull them out. And that is why chasing feels so exhausting. It's not just about losing sleep or peace of mind. It's about losing opportunities. Pull them out, and losing seasons of your life that you will never get back. You cannot rewind time and say, out and let me use these years differently. All you can do is learn the lesson now. Pull them out, and that your time is sacred and should never be wasted on people who make you chase them. When you stop running after the wrong people, suddenly you find yourself with an abundance of time and energy to invest where it matters. You can finally focus on becoming stronger, wiser. Pull them out, and more fulfilled. You start working on your goals without distraction. Pull them out, and you surround yourself with people who encourage your growth instead of draining it. You discover passions you never knew you had. Pull them out, and talents you never explored, and potential you never tapped into, simply because your time is now yours again. The truth is, life is short. Pull them out. And none of us know how much time we have left. To waste even a fraction of it on chasing those who don't care is one of the greatest tragedies. Pull them out, but to reclaim that time and pour it into your growth, that is one of the greatest victories. Because when you choose yourself, pull them out, and when you invest your time wisely, you are no longer just existing. You are becoming. Today, pull them out. And you cannot force someone to stay if their heart is not with you. No matter how much effort you put in, No matter how many sacrifices you make out, and no matter how tightly you try to hold on, a person whose heart has already left will slip away eventually. To pull them out, and trying to force someone to stay is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it leaks through your fingers. And yet, so many of us exhaust ourselves chasing after people who have already decided to move on emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Pull them out. We believe that if we just love them harder, if we just do a little more, if we just beg them enough, we can convince them to stay. Pull them out. But the truth is, love, respect, and loyalty cannot be manufactured through force. They must come naturally from the heart. When someone pull them out, and when someone truly wants to be with you, they will not need to be convinced. They will choose you willingly, without hesitation, without conditions today to pull them out, and without needing constant persuasion. On the other hand, when someone's heart is not with you, every act of kindness feels like pressure to them. Pull them out, and every attempt to hold on feels like a burden. Instead of bringing them closer, your chasing pushes them further away. Because love that is forced is not love at all. It is captivity. And no one wants to live in chains, no matter how beautiful the cage may seem. Forcing someone to stay also damages you deeply. You begin to compromise your values, abandon your boundaries, pull them out, and ignore your own needs just to keep them near. You may silence your voice, tolerate disrespect, or pretend to be someone you're not today to pull them out, and all in the desperate hope that they won't leave. But in the process, you lose yourself. And what good is holding on to someone if the cost is losing your own identity, your peace, and your dignity? Even if they stay physically, pull them out. And their absence will haunt you emotionally, because you can feel when someone's heart isn't truly present. That emptiness, that distance, pull them out. And that lack of connection, it slowly eats away at your spirit, leaving you lonelier than if they had left completely. To pull them out. And there is also a harsh but liberating truthing. If their heart is not with you, then they were never meant for you in the first place. Pull them out, and chasing them only delays the inevitable. You cannot build a lasting bond with someone who has already emotionally checked out. Pull them out, and all the energy you pour into convincing them to stay is wasted, because loyalty and love cannot be begged into existence. Pour out, and true companionship must be mutual. And when it isn't, to pull them out, and the relationship is already broken. You're just holding on to pieces that cut every time you clutch them tighter. Pull them out. And the moment you stop trying to force someone to stay, you open the door for real love to enter today. To pull them out, and you create space in your life for people who actually want to be there, who choose you without hesitation. Pull them out, and who see your worth without needing persuasion. Instead of clinging to someone who doesn't belong, to pull them out, and you begin to trust that the right people will never have to be forced. They will stand beside you willingly, not because you begged them. Pull them out, and because they truly see you, value you, and want to share their heart with you. Letting go is painful. Pull them out, but it is far less painful than the endless suffering of forcing someone to stay against their will. You deserve love that flows freely, and not love that must be chased. You deserve a presence that is certain, not a presence that constantly slips through your hands. Pull them out, and until you accept this truth, you will keep running in circles, exhausting yourself over people who were never truly yours. Your energy should be invested in building yourself, not chasing. Every human being has a limited amount of energy each day. Emotional and mental and physical. How you spend the energy decides the direction of your life. If you pour it into chasing people who ignore you, belittle you, or fail to value you, you end up drained, frustrated, and empty. But if you pour that same energy into yourself, into your growth, your dreams, your health, your skills, and your peace, you become unstoppable. Pull them out. And the tragedy is that many people spend their most powerful years wasting energy on people who don't deserve it. To pull them out, and instead of building themselves into the kind of person who create a future filled with fulfillment and purpose. Think about it. Pull them out. And every late night you spend crying over someone's silence could have been used reading a book, learning a new skill, working on a passion project, or simply resting to rebuild your strength. And every hour spent crafting long messages for someone who doesn't reply could have been used writing down your goals, developing your talents, pull them out, or exercising to improve your health. Every ounce of energy wasted overanalyzing their words, their moods, pull them out, and their actions could have been used in meditation, prayer, or self-reflection to bring yourself inner peace. The energy is there. The question is, and where are you investing it? Chasing others is like pouring water into a broken jar. No matter how much you give, it will always leak away, pull them out, and leaving you depleted. Building yourself, on the other hand, is like watering a seed. Every drop of effort adds up, slowly growing into strength, confidence, success, and joy. When you choose to invest in yourself, begin today to pull out pain. You're not just avoiding pain, you're planting the foundation for a brighter tomorrow. You're ensuring that no matter who comes or goes, your life continues to flourish because it's rooted in your own efforts, not in someone else's approval. Moreover, pull them out, and when you focus on building yourself, you naturally attract the right people. Strong, confident, pull them out, and self-assured individuals are like magnets. They don't have to chase anyone because their energy speaks for itself. Pull them out, and people notice the way they carry themselves, the way they grow, the way they shine. And those who truly value them are drawn to their light. Pull them, but when you chase others, you dim your own glow. You appear needy, desperate, and insecure. End today to pull them out, and that energy pushes the right people away while pulling in the wrong ones, the ones who exploit your giving nature without giving anything back. Investing energy in yourself also builds resilience. Life will always test you with heartbreaks, rejections, and disappointments to pull them out. But if you've been building yourself, if you've been strengthening your mind, nurturing your soul, and developing your skills today to pull them out, you'll have the inner power to withstand those storms. You won't break every time someone leaves because your foundation is strong to pull them out, and you won't collapse when someone rejects you because your identity is not tied to their opinion. You won't feel lost when someone walks away. Pull them out, and because you are already whole within yourself. The truth is, energy is life. How you spend it determines whether you grow or wither. Pull them out, and if you waste it chasing people, you end up with nothing but fatigue and regret. But if you invest it in building yourself, you end up with success. Pull them out, and peace, strength, and a future you can be proud of. And the most beautiful part, when you build yourself, you no longer have to run after anyone to pull them out, and you become the kind of person who inspires others to run to you. Not because you chased them, but because your energy speaks louder than any words ever could.